Ah, this coffee's hitting the spot. Good morning, Margot. How are you today? Daisy's enjoying northern Michigan. Nice day today. A lot cooler, a little windy. Hey, Carla. You guys wondered where the real Lake Wobegon is. It's right here. Been getting some great sunsets lately. Clouds, so beautiful up here. See these natural colors. So like this blue water, blue sky, green everywhere. This is such great weather. Yeah, it's pretty, isn't it? Lucky to be here. Good fish in here, clear water, family friendly. Hey, Julie. I haven't seen you around too much lately. Hey, Stephanie. Looks like I'm in Seattle, doesn't it? See if this truck's pulling in here. Come here, hon. Come on, honey. Come on. Hop in, hon. Good girl. Let her wander around before there's trucks. Lake Wobegon. Hey, just chilling. How you doing? Beautiful day here today. Oh, you've been working a lot. Yeah, I've been doing pretty well. Yeah, pretty good. Haven't caught COVID and died. Any of you people out there deal with medical records at all? You know, and like the infrastructure for the software. Go ahead. The guy has enough courtesy to think he was getting in the way. Thank you. I'm just having a chat. But yeah, thank you. I appreciate it. Yeah, I love Ohio. I love the whole state. I was really into antiques. Ohio was a treasure trove of good places. Columbus, love it. All of it. Toledo, Cincinnati, rural area, farmland. Jeff, not that I know of, but glad to see you this morning out causing trouble early in the morning. Jeff, do you not have a life or what? I mean, you're an adult male and you run around causing trouble like a young kid with soap windows at Halloween. Probably did call the cops on me, but so what? What difference does it make? I could care less. You can call them if you want them right now on me. Not gonna do anything. Oh, I know who it was. At least one of the times. But what difference does it make? Why does this concern you? Why do you care? You got a big jumbo over at your house right now running your fingers through her greasy hair? Oh, totally. Yeah. He's got a jumbo over at his house with a reinforced bed and he's running his fingers through her greasy hair. I'm sure I've had the cops called on me plenty of times. Yeah, that's how these people are, man. They have, at least people like you, Stephanie, can like see through this. I mean, they have no ability to create any content. They just sit on their titanium reinforced chair and badmouth other people. Yeah, Jeff, this is probably. I got a pretty good idea who you are. Have a good day. The gentleman there actually didn't want to get in the way because he thought I was taking photos. Yeah. Yeah, adults doing this. They have no other life. They don't even own a camera. They can't take a picture or anything. They'd never learn how to use it anyway. Yep, keep on and on. That's exactly it, Stephanie. And look, I did not want to upload those conversations, but you're smart enough to realize that all that did was exonerate me from someone just wondering what was going on. And once that happened, mission accomplished, I took them down. I didn't have to take those down. I'm not saying I'm a good guy because I did. But mission accomplished. You got to find out this was a lunatic, a stalker, someone that drove to my home. And once people realized this lady was nuts, it was game over. Yeah. So, no problem. I got lots more of those conversations too. And like I told the lady on the phone, I'll put them up there again if I have to. And all these other stalking troublemakers that thought that I was stupid enough to befriend them. I got hours of recordings with you. If you didn't do anything wrong, if you're not a lunatic and a backstabbing troubled person, you don't have anything to worry about. Do you think I have any recordings on Mary, Faye, Dolly, Rita? No, you know why? Because they're not crazy. There's nothing to get on them. Right, I could tape them till the day I died, and I'm not going to have anything that's going to make them look any different than they appear already. Decent, normal human beings that have lives. They have husbands. They have a sex life. They work. They have jobs. They have careers. They're not miserable misfits on titanium reinforced chairs, chain smoking. Yeah. I think this might be buffering a little bit, but that happens from time to time out here. Yeah, I got more ammunition in my closet if I need to use it. I'm not going anywhere. As a matter of fact, for the public record, you know this this heavy set woman thing comes up all the time. I've explained it a million times. But like I said, when I refer to some of these behemoths, it's mainly because of their personality, not how they look. Actually, I just gave a quadruple tip to a jumbo this morning. Why? Because she's a super nice person and she gave me good service. It stopped. It sure did, Carla. You better believe it stopped. And let me tell you, I encourage people 100%. Well, I wouldn't recommend anybody get to know anybody through YouTube. It seems to be a disproportionate amount of misfits, wackos, crazies, and stalkers. I used to think that Fatal Attraction was just a movie, but I don't think that anymore. There's some real crazies out there. I'm walking down to the local gas station, which I've done like 3 times in 10 years to get a lottery ticket. And this kook cuts me off that drove 320 miles from Indiana because I took her off as a moderator. It doesn't get any crazier than that. Yeah. And I appreciate the people that, I think I do a okay job at ferreting out good people and bad. I was really surprised about Mark last night. And like I said, if Stephanie, if there was somebody out there hassling you or talking bad about you, I don't want them over here. And if I knew about it, I'd block them. So there's really no excuse when you look at what I uploaded, what she uploaded, and you're still going over there and participating. Time to hit the road. Bye-bye. Sayonara. It's not a popularity contest. Yeah, he was a big disappointment, to tell you the truth, but he's just one of, maybe 20 disappointments out of a lot of really good people I've crossed paths with, so it's still way worth it. But obviously this guy's not playing with a full deck. He probably doesn't have any friends because he's not loyal, two-faced, plays both sides. So he got the virtual boot right between his hiney. Yep. Mm-hmm. Totally true. Where are you, Jeff? You want to ask me any more troublemaking, nosy questions about who called the cops on me? Start some more trouble, maybe come up with another ID. Get back into cross-dressing, drink some cheap beer. Just see how much trouble you can cause in a day. Yeah, backbiter, yep. Hey, Samka. Yeah. Boy, that was a great sunset last night. That's one nice thing about here. I'll tell you a funny thing is, the longest day of the year is right around the corner. And I already notice it for where I go to take, videos and photos. Because now, if I don't get here early, I got that nice pink sunset about a week ago. Well, the sun's moved off. You're never going to get that same shot again. Like last night when I was at that spot, where I'm on that hill, I couldn't move over far enough to get the complete sunset because the deck angle's changed. It's more to the northwest now. You notice these things when you're going to the same place every day. I don't want to know, Jeff. I don't want to know. I don't care. It doesn't matter who calls the cops on me. It doesn't matter. There's no evidence of anything anywhere. And if there was, it'd be pasted all over these hate channels. These guys have nothing, so they create these scenarios that never happen. Jeff has no life. He still watches reruns of Jerry Springer. He loves the trouble and controversy that's caused. Hey, Billy. It probably sounds real windy to you. Not bad, but it's coming right through the window, so you probably hear it in the phone. Not bad. Maybe a 6-mile-an-hour wind. It's blowing the 3 hairs on my head different ways. Old Daisy slept like a rock last night. I think Daisy could be part Shih Tzu or something like that. And they're really heat sensitive. Oh, thank you, Billy. Billy, what kind of videos do you like? I mean, I am going to do some interviews, but honestly, you guys know if you've been around a while, I never thought those interviews would be that. I even hate to use the word popular. Honest to God, I'm not really interested in viral videos at all. Just like takes the fun out of it. I gotta clean this windshield today. If you ever wonder why you're sneezing if you have a dog, you see that like stuff in the middle of my windshield? That's dander that comes off Daisy. And you would never even know she had it unless you got an opportunity to see it stick to the windshield where she sits up on the dash. And let me tell you, when you have to clean that off, that just doesn't come off like some powder. You gotta use that heavy-duty glass cleaning spray and go over it 2 or 3 times. So it makes sense how it aggravates your nasal passages and lungs. Lake Wobegon. Billy, if you like that stuff, you ought to get a camera and do it yourself. Yeah, if you like watching it, I think you'd like making them. It's really super easy. Yeah, it's like oil, Carly. You're right. It is. It's like oil. Yep, totally true. Another thing that people don't realize is that dust is very heavy. Regular old household dust. And there are people that end up losing their computer because their fan gets too heavy with dust that accumulates on the blades. And it'll end up burning it up and smoke the motherboard. Here's another thing people don't realize, too. I had a guy ask me the other day, you have different lenses for your cameras and you're taking them on and off. And, a big thing that people want to know about in a used lens, if there's any mold. You think, well, how in the hell could mold? I've only had it off for a couple seconds. I'll tell you why, because mold is alive. It's living. And when you introduce it to moisture, when you take it off the camera and put it in the case, that mold can eat and flourish, even though the cap's on the lens and you think it's sealed. So before you know it, you've had this lens for 8 years. It's in a damp environment, and this mold proliferated because it had all the ingredients of life: food, bacteria, and water, and mainly heat. Most mold needs a heat source. I sold a couple buildings, and these people just came in one day and gave me full price for it. And I think later on they wish they would have offered me lower. So what they did is, before closing, it's like there's one thing that we like to ask you. It's like, what's that? It's like we'd like a $5,000 credit for mold because one time a bathroom pipe had broke. Well, it's not the right environment for mold. And I said, I'm not doing it. If you wanted to negotiate, you should have done it before closing. No. What I will do is I'll be glad to sign a paper that if you discover mold, I'll pay for it, because I knew there wasn't any. But they were looking for a, pie in the sky, $5,000 credit. Really turned me off on the people. I was going to leave all my tools and lawnmowers and rakes and shovels with the building. Once they did that, I took them all and donated them. Screw them. Oh, you should, Billy. Hey, Patricia. I'm looking for a laptop for you, Patricia. Yeah, Billy, if you, what state do you live in? There's a lot of ways you can do this. If you like photos and stuff, it's really easy. Photos and video and stuff. Yeah, you got a lot of good content out there, things to do, Are you more into still photography or video? Now, Jeff, pay attention to someone normal. I know this is a stretch for you, but you see Patricia Brown coming on and she says, "Good morning, everyone." This is what normal behavior looks like. She didn't come on and say, have the police been called on you? You get this? I'm trying to help you lead a normal life. You see how she did that? Just came on and said hello. Hey, Blue. You see Blue Malibu? She just came on here and said hello. This is how normal people introduce themselves in the midst of a chat. Is this ringing any bells at all? Hey, Buttercup. Good. Pretty good today. Beautiful day here up in Lake Wobegon. Wind's coming straight out of the west today. Now, this is West Branch. If you look on a Google map, it's Lake George, just 3 miles south of where I live, out in farm country. I've been coming here since '78. Looks exactly the same. Beautiful area. Those are like rentals across there, a cabin and stuff. I haven't seen the loons or the bald eagle lately. No, that rain video was from 4 days ago. The clouds, that was yesterday, but the rain was 4 days ago. That's what I'm taking, coffee break. Did you get back on your diet? Oh, good. Washing floors. That was a good time. You know, sometimes you believe what you want to believe. Let me give you an example. I told you my sister was the first single female to own a McDonald's franchise. And that's how I started coming up here. She doesn't own them now, but I know the new guy that does, and I know the guy that runs them for him in this area. So last year they opened a Culver's. I never had a Culver's hamburger before. I think it's the best cheeseburger I've ever had in my life. And the guy that runs them, I'm always saying, has that affected your business at all? And he said, it's hard to tell. It's not hard to tell. Let me give you an example. 2 nights in a row, they have a different way of preparing food. They cook it to order. There were cars wrapped around the building all the way out to the highway where you pull in. McDonald's, there wasn't a car in the drive-thru. So they just can't swallow that pill that our business has been affected by new competition. And in general, if you have a different kind of food, it brings more people to the area. But when you've got someone that's making a cheeseburger that's 10 times better than yours, pony up, swallow the pill, and acknowledge that they're kicking your ass. Now, I'm sure that McDonald's is still grossing way more than the Culver's. So overall, it's a better business model. But it's a no-brainer with their cheeseburgers. You go get a McDonald's cheeseburger, then go get a Culver's cheeseburger. It's like night and day. Yeah, I do. They're so good. And I'm not really even a big cheeseburger lover, to tell you the truth, but it's so good. Like, the meat's good. It's crispy. The lettuce is chilled. I never get crappy onions or tomatoes. It's hot. Bite into a McDonald's hamburger. It's not even hot. Looks like it's been just there forever. It's like a TV dinner hamburger. Now, I don't really like bacon. I'll eat bacon in a blue moon, but I don't like bacon that much. Oh, you think you'd like a pool? Pools are a lot of maintenance. They're expensive. The chemicals are expensive, and it's really super expensive to heat one. I'll give you an example. My sister has a house that kind of looks like a Frank Lloyd Wright design, that kind of design. It's not. worth a couple $100,000, something like that. But then the house next door looks like that too. Now these houses were built in the late 50s or 60s, and the neighbor's house has an indoor pool. I mean, an outdoor pool, small, outside, a lot of shade. There's a lot of trees up here. So after they bought the house, it was in the summer, and they thought, well, we're just gonna fire this pool up, and they weren't gonna put a cover on it, and they thought they'd just heat it for. This was during July and August. So they get the pool up to where you heat it to where you're comfortable in there, not freezing your ass off. No cover. You know how much their first bill was? This is a small pool too. You're not swimming laps in here. And this is before energy was crazy expensive. This was like 15 years ago. You know how much their first bill was to heat this pool for the month of July? Take a guess. This is natural gas now. Hey, Shannon. Pool boy, I bet you would. How much do you think it cost him to heat that pool? 1,900 was their gas bill. They shut it down the next day. No, crazy. It's super expensive to heat water. Now you can put a solar cover and all that kind of crap on it. But even then, if you crunch the numbers of the pool, the chemicals, and if you want to heat it, crazy expensive. There you go, Buttercup. I don't think you could handle it. Women don't think like men. They may joke about it and stuff. If an older guy had a pool and there were a bunch of 19 and 20-year-olds hanging around, that's all he'd think about is how cute they were, and if he could have one as a girlfriend, which probably would never happen. Older women laugh and joke and say they're pool boy, they're staring at him right now, but it really gets down to the reality of how we all got here. It's not the same. If there were 10 women that said, I want to get it on with the pool boy, and they were in their 40s or 50s, if there were 10 women out there, okay, and you'd be lucky to find one that would really do it if they had the opportunity. They'll joke about it. And if I knew a 50-year-old woman that was serious about that, I'd avoid her like the plague. Why? Because it's just not normal. There's certain behavior patterns that fit into like what you feel comfortable with. I would joke about it and think it was cute, but it's just not reality. As I'd said before, I had a friend of mine that won that Fear Factor when it first came out. You can look him up. His name's Chad Harper. This was a good-looking guy. He looked like James Dean. Lazy son of a bitch, too. And he actually thought that as life progressed through his 20s that he was going to end up finding an older woman to support him. Never happened. I'm not saying it doesn't happen, but by and large, that's more of a scenario Hollywood created than a reality. Now, older men will support younger, good-looking women, no problem. I can give you bunches of examples of that. But older women, even though it's talked about, it doesn't hardly happen at all. American Gigolo, yep. Oh, really, Shannon? Shannon, there's all sorts of programs for that. It's pretty hard to shut somebody's gas off anymore. It really is. Yeah, that's exactly it, Stephanie. You're smarter than that. Yeah, that's it. It's just, like I've said all along, older guys that get mail order brides, they got a major screw loose. I mean, I like the thought of it. Who wouldn't, right? But if I had a friend of mine, he said he was going to get like a young mail order bride, I'd probably quit hanging around with him. It's just something's really creepy about that. Yeah, that's what I say, Buttercup, yeah. Yeah, but Stephanie, all you got to do is pull the kid card, and actually, you're a single mother. Do any of your kids have medical difficulties or anything? Any kind of medical problems? Because you're home free if they do. They can't shut anything off. Takes B shit to mo bullshit. That's what I say. I say so too. Bullshit to no bullshit. Yep. Today'd be a good kite flying day. If you look the other day, I bought that magazine on drone law only because I wanted to be clear on some things. These drones, man, you can hardly fly them anywhere. There's so many restrictions. They can break it off in your ass anytime they want to. I'll give you an example. Like right now, if I got a drone out and I started flying it around, you'd think, well, what's wrong with that? I'll tell you what's wrong with it. I'm within 5 miles of an airport. Yeah, we only get 2 or 3 airplanes that land a month. But if I uploaded that video to YouTube, and of course one of my stalkers knew this, they would get a hold of the FAA and they would say, hey, Tom Reed just uploaded a video of Lake George with a drone, and they would be all over my ass. I mean, they're handing out $10, $50, $100,000 fines like it's nothing. So, who needs it? Flying over open assemblies of people, buildings, harassing wildlife, you name it. Actually, there was an article on the internet the other day, someplace where they look like Arctic terns to me. I'm not sure. But there's only one place that they breed. And some dumbass took a commercial drone and crashed it in their nesting area, and they all took off, and all the eggs died. The birds never came back. There was an entire generation of terns that were lost because of this moron with a drone that he crashed in their nesting area. You can Google it. Yeah, that drone test is easy. That drone test is super easy. You could probably pass it, Blue, and not even study. It's super easy. But see, that's where they really nail you. With knowledge comes accountability. So they kind of have you by the balls when you've passed this Mickey Mouse test. That's when they can really ram it to you, when you know better and you did it anyway. That's kind of how that test is set up. I was in Ann Arbor, Michigan, 40 years ago. I saw a remote control airplane hit the side of the University of Michigan's helicopter. The damn helicopter circled around, landed. They switched phone numbers with the guy that was flying the remote control plane. That was probably the end of it. God knows what would happen to you now if you did that. You would get your ass handed to you so bad. You know this lady that just got, Martha Lundstrom, who flew under the bridge in Cincinnati? Let me tell you, back when I was flying, that's the first damn thing you did when you got your license. You went over to your old girlfriend's house, and she'd be out in the picnic table, and you'd turn the transponder off, and you'd buzz it, and she'd fall out of the chair and realize it with you, and everybody'd laugh. I flew up here for 20 years, and the way that they knew that I was here is that I'd buzz my sister's house. I'd come in from the east, get real low right over the trees. Wow, full throttle. Neighbors would come out and wave. They said, Tom's here. I'd go right over to the airport. Those days are long gone. And it's interesting because on Martha Lundstrom, she was an FAA inspector. There's a lot of information on this, which makes it even worse. But now I looked in the charges, and what they'll do now is, there's two separate issues. One, you're getting low, you're flying under bridges, a big, huge no-no. But what they hung their hat on with her for a total revocation of all her certificates was that she turned a working transponder off, and that they had her by the balls. And once they nailed her on those charges, it was a camera that caught her flying under the bridge. They went and probably got a warrant and took that transponder out of that airplane and realized and tested it, bench tested it, there was nothing wrong with it. So her biggest problem was, by her own volition, turning a transponder off, flying under the bridge, then turning it on again. That's what screwed her the most. Almost worse than flying under the bridge itself. No, flying is super safe. If you look at, you want to talk about, I'm not a religious guy. I'm really into probabilities though, like an actuary, an insurance company. Flying an airplane is very safe. Uh, Skydiving is safe. Riding a motorcycle is not. Paragliding is not. Gyrocopters are not. So it all is what kind of risk you're willing to take. If you're in a certified airplane, particularly the commercial airlines, you wouldn't believe what they have to demonstrate to become airworthy. You are super safe. The data is there. You can look it up yourself. Skateboarding. If I had a kid, there's no way he's out there going up and down these half pikes and all this crap concrete with some little peanut helmet on. No way. If I had a kid under my roof, he's not riding a scooter or a motorcycle either. No way. No, technology is crazy. Yeah, I'm a firm believer in statistics. I really am. Probabilities, lottery. I know full and well when I buy lottery tickets every week. I think it's worth the serotonin that seems to fire up on the possibility of winning. It's worth 10 or 15 bucks I spend a week, even though the likelihood of me winning is pretty low. I probably stand a 100,000, at least, maybe a million times more chance of getting colon cancer or pancreatic cancer than winning even the lowest prize on any of the national lotteries. It's a game of chance. It's not considered gambling. It's different. Yeah, don't do it, Billy. Don't do it. Motorcycle, they they're dying left and right, even in a rural place like this. Now, if you're a guy, you know what the safest mode of transportation is ever, anywhere? You're gonna laugh. An elevator. People say, well, if it's my time, it's my time. I don't think that way. I don't subscribe to that. Well, it's God's, my time, God's calling me. Yeah, good luck, buddy. I don't think you're going to like steering yourself around a mall with a straw in your mouth because you can't walk and your arms don't work. Dying's one thing. Spending the next 30 years in a wheelchair and losing my independence is another. That's worse than death to me. So I don't ride motorcycles. No, there you go, Michelle. Yeah, I believe it. Yeah. There's a bald eagle right there. A young one. See him? That's a bald eagle right there. And I know some people that have really gotten busted up on motorcycles in the middle of nowhere, hitting a patch of gravel. And nowadays, with the roads so bad, places, not down south, but like up here, it's not bad like where I live, these interstates. But you get into like Bay City, Detroit, man, there's potholes everywhere that'll take you out. There's that bald eagle. Here he's coming back. See, I think, look at him. See him? This bird is so huge. This is a big one. This is probably the daddy. I don't know if you can see him or not. He's out there diving down in the water. Probably going to try and pick off a songbird. Songbirds must taste good to birds of prey. And I think they're really easy to catch. Yeah, it's the big daddy bald eagle. He's just out there flying his ass off. They are beautiful birds. Yeah, I think he's going to land in the tree over there. They are beautiful birds, but they're pussy birds. One little chink in the armor of the water quality, and they're done. You just look at them; they'll fall right off the branch. There's another one. There's two of them out there flying now. They're so far away you can't see them. Two big bald eagles. I want to petition the government to make the starling the national bird, even though it's non-indigenous. It comes from Europe. Yeah, it's back. Yeah, I can't even see him when I look in the phone here. There's two of them. Hopefully they come closer. I hear he comes right here. He's flying his ass off. Hear those birds singing? I don't know this for sure, but I think these eagles, just like pigeons, that's their way of keeping their muscle tone up. He's just out there having fun. There's two of them. Doesn't look like he's hunting anything. Yeah, here he is coming over here. Hope you can see him. Yeah, he's getting closer. See him? He's coming towards me. He's going right over here. Bald eagle, Daisy. Probably can't see him, but wish you could. Yeah, here he is right here. Not going anywhere, hon. Oh, thank you, Billy. Oh, did you see it? Good. Go on, hon. There's another one way out. Yep. They're beautiful. They're really striking flyers. You know, this goes to show you how. Thank you, Billy. Your mind plays tricks on you. I was up in Valdez, Alaska one time. You know, I've seen enough eagles. I know what a damn eagle looks like. And I was down on the like beach area, and I see all these birds. There's like maybe 100 of them, and they're all congregated. And I think, wow, man, look at those birds. Homer, Alaska, too, is another place. And it's like I see these birds, and my mind is like thinking, wow, that is so cool. And if I'd have seen one, I could have told you what it was, or two. But my mind sees all these birds, and the light bulb didn't come on. So I finally said to a guy, what are those big birds over there? He said they're bald eagles. You go to Alaska, you'll see them in areas where there'll be 100, 150 of them together. But you know, you're used to seeing them like I just did. They're all over up there. Yeah, you know, on that mating for life though, they're debunking a lot of that with swans and all sorts of other animals. That's starting to look like a Hallmark movie promo than it is reality. This mating for life is starting to look like something mankind created. I know it's with certain swans. They found out that that's bullshit. I mean, I'd like to believe it too. Made for life. That's just loons and all this kind of stuff. But more and more as time goes on, it's looking like a big crock of shit. Hi, Susan. Yeah, it's beautiful. You know, people create a lot of things. Mankind, mythological figures are an example. They're really fascinated. It's like the troublemakers on YouTube. They really get a kick out of creating Superman and Batman and Spider-Man. They're in their adult years and they wear outfits once a year like that, even though it's not on Halloween. They still read cartoons and comics. This fantasy life really interests them. Actually, when I was in Barnes & Noble the other day, I was looking through a fantasy art publication. Those people are really talented. These people that do this fantasy art. It's not sexual fantasy. It's like mythological creatures and half human and stuff, but they really look cool. Hey, Debbie and Dave. Yeah, they really look cool. Have you been using your new camera much? Daisy will sit like this for 10 hours if I sat out here, just looking out the window. Yeah, every shot you see I ever take is on auto. In the old days, now with the new autofocus and a dot matrix system of metering, 98% of the time it's dead on. It doesn't make any sense. In the old days, autofocus and auto programs on cameras wasn't that great. It's like 50-50. But I never use manual anymore. Have a good day, Carla. You don't need a license for skydiving, Billy. You don't need a license. Skydiving is easy. You go out and take a tandem jump first. I did that for quite a while too, and eventually got bored with it. I mean, it's really cool at the beginning, the adrenaline rush. But after a while, it's hard to get enough people together, and you got to join a club. And if you get into, after a while, it takes forever to get up to like 10,000 feet in a prop plane. You just get kind of bored with it. So now you join a better club, and they've got a shorts or a turboprop or something that you can get up to altitude quick. And I liked it for quite a while and just got bored with it. But you don't need a license to skydive. See you, Buttercup. You party on. Go take a tandem jump and see if you like it or not. I mean, like I say on everything, nothing is as it seems until you do it. You've got this idea in your mind what skydiving's like, and it may not trip your trigger. If you jump out of the plane and you shit your pants and you throw up and you think you're going to have a panic attack, you probably ought to look for another hobby. On the other hand, if all this serotonin is jacked up and these endorphins are released and you feel like Jesus Christ for about 3 minutes, you'll probably keep doing it. Yeah, she's a great dog. Nah, Daisy actually is perfect for photos, particularly infrared photography. Yeah, I think that at least 2 or 3 times a day with Daisy. How lucky I got. And consider that she was giving up everybody that had her. How you can have a dog that's great, and everybody that had her before me gave her away. She was super aggressive when I got her, biting everybody. Up until maybe 2 years ago, I didn't even let her. If you came up to the van or something, she'd bite you no matter what. And I'll give you an example. Like you got to get to know Daisy. You can't just start petting her and stuff. And the neighbor this morning is trying to get to know her, and they've lived there like a year now. Daisy went over there and she tried to pet her, and Daisy backed up. She backs up and then turns her head, like kind of screws her way out of somebody touching her. And it'll be a while before she can touch her. But back in the day, I would have worried about Daisy because if there's a 50% chance when you tried to pet her, she might have sunk her teeth into your fingers. Yeah, she's such a good dog. Actually, we have a little air show here this Saturday in our airport. Like this morning, I took a shower and she thinks we're taking off right away. Usually I'll take it at night. So I just let her out. I never need to worry about her taking off anything. So, took a shower and I came out and she was banging her paw on the front window because she was wondering where I was at. She always wants to be around me, follows me everywhere. I never need to worry about her taking off. But she's outside the door hitting the glass with her front paw because I was taking too long. She was like this as a puppy. Sit up on top of the chair, look out the window. Even now, I can let her out on the front porch. She'll sit there for 10 hours. Don't need to worry about her taking off, nothing. Hey, Jet Dude. Yeah, she's definitely the best dog I've ever had. I mean, she fits every single great bill. No problem at all. Never had her on a leash. Tell her everything once. She'll poop one time and pee here and there, but not much. Not a chewer. This is a super smart dog. Like lately, like it's been getting cold at night. Daisy's not a cuddler, but she's done it the last 2 nights in a row, and I think it's not really cuddling. If she could verbalize it, she'd say, "Hey, don't be full of yourself. I'm not cuddling with you at all. I'm cold." Yeah, such a good dog. I know I brag about her all the time. She's a super intelligent animal. I'm not kidding you. It's almost like having a monkey around. I'm going to have to cut her hair. Her hair grows so fast. I cut it like every 3 days. And when I first got her, I didn't know anything about, I do a hack job on her, cutting her. She's got really weird. A guy made a comment on a video and said, "Sounds like Daisy needs her nails clipped." Yeah, I can understand why you would think that because Daisy's got like super big feet. They're almost. She's got a 16 and a half inch neck, and she's got huge feet. It's like a dog you'd expect to weigh 60 or 70 pounds, and big giant black nails like you'd see on a Labrador or something. And they're solid black. You can't see. And the cuticle, they're very long, and it's easy to trim them too far. I've had veterinarians make this mistake because when I first got her, most dogs I had, I guess I was lucky, they had that translucent look and you could see how far to cut their nails. Where with her you can. And where you think you would trim them back, even when they're trimmed at the max, you can still hear her nails hitting the wood floor when she's walking around. It's so weird. So this guy thought, well, Daisy needs her nails trimmed. It's like, yeah, I know why you think that, but not really. And I'm very conservative doing it. It took me 3 years to be able to cut her nails. Now I can like open her mouth and look at her teeth or cut her nails, no problem, but it took forever. Yeah, I mean, people say that, but it wasn't, she was actually my neighbor's dog for a year, but I took the neighbor to get her. And I knew, she was just a young dog, and this was an older woman, so I was doing everything with Daisy even before I owned her. And the reason for it, I just felt bad for her. She was a young, energetic dog that wasn't getting any exercise. She would get out sometime and come down to my door and scratch on the door. And the lady, I'd take her everywhere. I'd take her out the airport, and I'd buy her things. And I mean, it was like my dog, even though I didn't own her. And then when the lady had to go to an assisted living care facility, I took Daisy. Glad I did. I told her I didn't want her at first, which I didn't. Hey, Linda. I'm not a cat guy, but I think if there was a situation a cat was getting screwed, I'd probably take one. It's funny, Daisy. I mean, I've had her around cats, and she'll sniff them, and I can have them. I'm trying not to. Yeah, I would have taken Daisy, but there's no way a stranger is cutting her hair. Even at the vet, they want to. Now they got this new thing where they take her in a back room. Yeah, they have to muzzle her. She'll bite the hell out of them. Actually, the vet told me the vets changed the way their methodology on how they do this. And last time I was there, she said Daisy would have bit her if she didn't have a muzzle on her. I said, well, why don't we just go back to the old days where I hold Daisy like I used to, and you give her the shots. It's like, well, we've changed our program. So, and then when I'm leaving, she says, well, next time, you have an appointment with Daisy and she's going to require shots, we'll give you a prescription for a sedative. I said, I'm not giving a Daisy a prescription for a sedative. I'll go to another vet. It's not necessary. You should know more about animal behavior. She's coming in here. She's nervous. There's dogs barking everywhere. And now your new program is to grab her, take her back into a room. This isn't that kind of dog. And start giving her shots. It's just stupid. And I'm not going to drug her to allow that. I'll find another vet. This is bullshit. Yeah, Michelle. Yeah, yep. Yeah, believe me, her nails are probably longer than they should be. But if you saw them and you tried to cut them, you'd know what I mean. I'm telling you, they look like nails that ought to be on a Labrador Retriever. If you saw Daisy's footprints in the snow, you'd wonder what in the hell it was. They're close together, but the feet are huge. Like I said, her neck is huge. Real muscular legs. Big broad chest in the front. Watch when she walks. Like she waddles. That's because her chest is so wide. I mean, her back feet are so much closer together. Yeah, right, Susan. Yep. Oh, you think she's part Lopso Lopso? Hey, Rita, how you doing? I don't think this is the right Rita. I think this is a fake Rita. Cause why don't you have your why isn't your wrench there? Hey, Emily. Why isn't your wrench there? Hey, Cheryl. Yeah, I think it's a fake Rita too. Blue, do you think this is a fake Rita? Yeah, Daisy's built like a little tank. And if you look, I've got pictures uploaded of her when she was just 6 months old. She's just had this big, thick, weird looking torso. Hey, Cheryl. Oh, okay. Rita, if that's you, send me an email or a text. Yeah, she should have a wrench. Although these wrenches have been coming off accidentally. That's what I think, faker. Hey, Alethea. Good job, Shannon. No, it's worse than that, Shannon. They're just mentally ill people. I mean, I'm mentally ill too, but in a different kind of way, not in like a troublemaking, vengeful, mean way. Like I told that lady on that audio that I uploaded. Look, I've had my own mental health struggles, but I'm not going around trying to ruin people's lives. So weird. Yeah, that's the way I look at it. Yeah, that's it, man. They're just super weird people. Like I told him, run a Ben Verified file on me like all these stalkers do. Go to the cities I've lived in and go to the court records. I'm not afraid to file a lawsuit. You're going to need an attorney, but I'm not. I'll keep you in court for 3 years fighting venue. You're going to be making trips up here. I'll take you over to the lake and you can look around while you try and figure out how you're going to get out of this. Any false, malicious content, lies, you're going to be in huge trouble. Now, there are a couple downsides to this. And that is, but I'd still like to get a judgment against him. You got people like Nitty's just a non-factor. Crocraw Debbie, she's a grown woman, can't even afford a place to live. So what's the sense of it all? She's a non-factor. Just a little itty-bitty channel that doesn't do shit. She's got the same amount of subscribers as she had a year and a half ago. She's going nowhere. Nitty's so embarrassed by his subscriber count, he hit it. Smoking Miss Piggy with railroad spikes in her cheek, she's going nowhere. And the two-ton toothless Tessie in Texas, looks like her sales have been deflated. She's going nowhere. When my hot dog gets 350 more views than her 2.5-hour chat, that ought to speak volumes to her. You know what I mean? The old light bulb never comes on. Yeah, I mean, seriously. Even Debbie's chats, no one watches them. Just this bulging, blue-eyed idiot. Yeah, go look for yourself. My hot dog and fries. My 3-second video on hot dog and fries got more than her 2-hour chat. I can't get any clearer than that. Just a hot dog smothered in chili in a bun, and more people are willing to click on it. No, it was good, Susan. It was good. Oh, thank you, Snowy. Thank you. No, but it just, I mean, what better way could you just get an idea of how much people want to listen to you when a chili dog just kicks your ass? Those hot dogs are good. I know that sounds like kind of an oxymoron, but first of all, they're Kogel hot dogs. Kogel. They've only got half the eyeballs, hoofs, buttholes, and tails as their competition in them. I'm proud to eat a Kogel. You can get skinless or the skin on them. But those are as good as it's going to get for a hot dog. The chili's good. Steamed bun. I'm telling you, man, it's the best bad fast food around. Mr. Hot Dog. Look it up, Bay City. Cash only. No, they're really good. And I'm not a big fry eater. You know, fries are what get you huge. And I just don't know where to get good fries anymore, other than there's a place called the Indigo. It's $8 an order or $12 an order for fries in Traverse City. The last 2 times, I got a buddy that likes to go there. Once in a while, I'll meet him and his wife there. You want to lick the bowl. I don't know what they do to these fries. They must just soak them in MSG or something. They are so good. I like those fries. And I like Mr. Hot Dog fries. Are excellent. Really good. Oh, you think Lopso, huh? It's funny you should say that, because my whole life, I always thought Lopsos were just like an old lady dog. That, why would anybody have one? They always seem to have like a bite problem in their jaw, and I didn't know they were like this at all. Oh, really? Oh, do they really? Yeah, Daisy, I mean, but you say Lopso. I don't think she's a purebred. I mean, she's just super muscular. I mean, maybe she is. If I let this hair grow out, I mean, Daisy can look so different. If I shave her down, her face down and stuff, she doesn't look anything at all like she looks now. It doesn't look like a shaved Lopso Opso. And these giant feet and that curled up tail. Daisy can hunt like hell. I'm not kidding you. I'm not talking about just sniffing the bushes. She can be super aggressive, man. She will lock down with another dog, no problem. It's not like just a nip and then faking being a badass. When I first got her, she would hang off a towel. She's got big muscular jaws. You give her a steak bone, she'll just decimate it, chew right through the damn thing. Oh, really, Michelle? Oh, you might be right on that, Emily. Yeah, no, her hearing is absolutely fantastic. And like I've said before, she doesn't bark over bullshit. When Daisy barks, I pay attention. And when she figures out what it is, she'll quit barking. I mean, it's not like a yappy barking dog. Oh, really, Emily? Yeah, I got an air fryer. I haven't even used it. It just doesn't like interest me for some reason. When I cook like shrimp or scallops, I use peanut oil. I don't get like bad fast food very often, not counting Culver's. And actually, I went from the double hamburger to the single cheeseburger, but it's too big. That's why I don't like Five Guys. I don't want to have three hands to hold this damn thing. I just want a normal sized hamburger. Hey, Shonda. Boy, these people are serious bass fishermen. Oh, they got a basset hound in front. I don't know who owned one of those either, to say the truth. They're always howling and slobbering. I mean, if you're not a hunter, I don't know who would want a hunting dog inside, unless there's something I don't know about him. This guy's really into this fishing. I'll bet that's a $30,000 deal new. My dad used to describe everything and compare it to sex. And he would say, I'll give you an example. I'd say, well, it's a nice boat. He said, I know that type personality. He said, that guy'd rather fish than screw. This guy's got custom covers on the seats. This has got some things that like go down in the back. They just sunk down in the water. I don't know what the hell that is. Big long things in the back. Yeah, it's a really nice area right here. Kind of this beautiful lake. Water's really warm too. Now today the air's a little cool, but like when it's warmer, you can. It's like when that's one fun thing I will say for Florida. I don't like the getting in water that much, but if you go down to Florida in June or July or August, the water's the same temperature as the air. You can go in and out of it and not freeze your ass off. It's nice. There's nothing like getting in a pool and then coming out and not being cold. Yeah, that's what he would say that about everything. Yeah, he would say he would make that comparison, and I knew what the hell he was talking about after that. What are those things that go down in the back of that boat?
Power poles.
What do they do?
They dig into the ground and like an anchor.
Oh, they do?
Yeah.
Is that just so shallow places, right?
Yeah, up to 8 feet.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
And that's better than anchoring?
Well, I don't know. I've never really anchored, so I don't know.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I don't blame you.
Some people only get one.
Oh, okay.
I've known, but I don't know.
Okay.
I'm talking about the power poles.
Oh, if you get one, then the wind will spin
Yeah,
you
spin
around.
you around.
Oh, okay. So that's just set up for fishing, right?
Yeah, it's just.
Now, I was guessing that whole setup, the motor, the way you got it's got to be 30 grand, isn't it?
That's a little more than.
More than that, yeah. Okay. Nice looking boat.
Thank you.
Yeah, more than 30 grand. Told you. To me, it's just, I just can't imagine spending more than 30 grand to fish. I just sit back and I think, what a porn collection I could have for that. No, not too big of a fisherman. I'll tell you, the last time I went fishing, I had a neighbor that owned a big nursery down in Florida, grew palm trees, and he had this boat. You could tow it around, but it was big as hell. He had a big pickup to pull it, and we went over to Jupiter Inlet. And I'll never forget it. We went out there, it was dark. The sun came up. It's just so ridiculously beautiful. And we just started catching these dolphin, the fish. Not the mammal, the fish. And they were the most beautiful effervescent colors as they flopped around on the deck. We caught like 100 pounds of these damn things in like 20 minutes. It was like enough fish to eat for the rest of your life. And they turned a rainbow color, and I realized that it was because they were suffocating. And it just really, honestly, I know I sound like a big pussy when it comes to this, and I will own it. And it just turned me off, and I thought, man, I want to put these fish back in the water, man. These things are dying. I mean, you people are like worried about running over a sea turtle, but yet you're catching all these fish, and all they were trying to do was get something to eat. So just like my hunting, I quit fishing after that. It just wasn't fun for me. I didn't enjoy that. I like just watching them. I like pushing my GoPro underwater and see them come up to the camera and stuff like that. I don't want to be doing that. I think I got a screw loose. Because I do eat fish. But I don't want to have that direct connection to ending their lives. Hey, Dolly. No, you're right about lobsters too. Yeah, can't do it anymore. Can't do it. Put a damn living thing into a boiling pot of water. Yep, can't do it. I'll tell you a story about lobsters. This is no shit. I have it someplace. So, I mean, I kind of was a rags to riches deal. I mean, I didn't have any money, and pretty early on when I opened my first detective agency, I was just absolutely killing it, man. I'm not kidding you. It was like unbelievable. So I just would buy anything I wanted, and I was in the office one day, and I thought, I'm going to go up and get a lobster, get red lobster. Well, I had already went through a lawsuit with some pit bulls. I sued the city, and they were fucking with me like these stalkers. It was just like these stalkers, only it was a municipality that had a long history of being racist, Dearborn, Michigan. And they were making up bullshit. They passed an ordinance just to force me to get rid of a couple pit bulls. Let me tell you, I wouldn't own a vicious dog. I wouldn't. I don't care what it is. So I went through that, and during that, actually the Humane Society, God bless her, Aline Liska, Liska, her and her husband are both dead now. She really did a lot for me, and she was an executive director for the Humane Society, so I got to know her. Anyway, I go to the Red Lobster, and they have this huge lobster. You know how you go into Red Lobsters in the tank? This goddamn thing is like 9 pounds. This thing's huge. And I'm sitting there, and I was going to get lobster, and it's like everybody's looking at it, and I see these guys in there, and they're going to pitch in and get this lobster. And I think to myself, man, this is really sad. This thing came from who knows where, Nova Scotia, Boston. And now he's going to get eaten by these guys. And already I don't like the guys because they're thinking of eating him. This is really, I would agree, it's mental illness, probably is. So I'm sitting at my table and I'm thinking about this, and the waitress comes. She said, what are you going to have today? I said, I want to buy that lobster over there. She said it was like $133 or some shit like that. And she said, well, how do you want it cooked? It's like, I want to take it with me. She said, well, we don't really have provisions for that. I said, what difference does it make? I want to save it. So I can't do this. The manager comes out. You know what he says to me? We're not a pet shop. Yeah, I thought, well, fuck you. That's like the worst thing you could have said to me. So I get a hold of the Humane Society and I said, hey, there's this big kick-ass lobster and these fuckers won't sell it to me. And I'm wondering if you can help me. She said, absolutely. So there were fringe groups that did work with the Humane Society. And she called the Red Lobster and said, look, we're not threatening you, but here's a guy that's willing to put this lobster back to live a natural life. It's an exception. He doesn't think he's going to do that with all lobsters. And if you don't sell him this lobster, we're going to stage a demonstration on Saturday. And I guarantee you there'll be at least 100 people there. What difference does it make to you? You're getting paid for it. And we're going to push this. So about a day went by. Red Lobster called the lady back, Eileen Liska, God bless her soul. I'm not a religious guy. I don't know what else to say. She really went out of her way to help me. So the Red Lobster called. It was either her at the Humane Society or one of these demonstration groups and said, hey, tell Mr. Reed he can just come down here. We'll give him the goddamn thing. No charge. Our mistake. Yeah, it's great. It's going back to the ocean. But he's got to come get it tomorrow. So now I've got this big giant lobster, and where am I going to take it, right? So once again, the Humane Society, they called all over the place. And the Shed Aquarium in Chicago, this is way before I ever thought I'd live there. The Shed Aquarium said they would take it. And what I had to do is I had to buy a first-class ticket for me and the lobster. And I had to do this protocol to pack this lobster in this oversized ice chest because it was so big. And it was like some ice, some water, it was some burlap bag, salt, all this kind of bullshit. Put the lobster in there and plan on taking off the next day. So in the meantime, Shed Aquarium gets a hold of me. And they said, hey, really looking for you. This is really cool. Thank you for doing this. We'll meet you at the airport. It's like, oh, that's cool. You know, I didn't know jack shit about Chicago, how far for the airport. So I get the lobster, I pack it up like they say, and I go down to the airport and I get on an airplane and I sit in first class because there was a deal where I couldn't ship like an unapproved container. There was a reason why I had to buy 2 seats, but I was allowed to go to first class and take the lobster, and I had to duct tape it. I remember they wanted me to do that and get on this plane. We take off and we go to Chicago. You know, it's only like a 25-minute flight. We get there and these guys meet me at the airport. They take me down to Shed Aquarium and they have this thing set up where this lobster like has to acclimate before it can go in this thing. And they end up taking the lobster. Now here's the sad thing about it. As it turns out, lobsters get stressed when they're taken out of their environment. And there's a bacteria that proliferates that gets underneath their shell. And basically there's nothing you're going to do about it. You can use all the Baytril you want. And that's why you'll see sometimes, I didn't know this at the time, but they'll run specials on lobsters that are in live tanks because they're starting to not look so good. And there's nothing, you're not going to medicate your way out of that. The lobster ended up living about 3 months and died. And I give these guys credit for this. Not that it means a damn thing, but it was practically all gay guys working there. They were really cool guys. And, you know, we had a pretty good rapport. And, you know, they were big, huge animal lovers. And I kind of respected him for this because they didn't lie and they didn't bullshit about it. So he called me and he said, Tom, I got bad news. The lobster died. It's like, you'd have thought I'd have went back there to see the lobster, but I didn't. I was just hoping the best for it, and it was a pain in the ass getting down there. He said, "Well," I said, "it died. How would you do? Just fling it in the trash dump, or feed it to the sharks, or what would you do with it?" He said, "Well, I'm going to be honest with you. Once it died, we could see it coming. We ate it. They actually, right after it died, before it, got too bad, they took it home and boiled it and ate it. And honestly, I didn't have a problem with that. I really didn't. It wasn't like they ate it and it had another 10 years left. So on one hand, it's an interesting story that the damn lobster got saved, but nobody knew at the time that its days were numbered. But that's just how things go. Like I say, if I die, I hope they feed me to like something that won't spit me out. I'd be fine with it. But that's my lobster story. No, no, evidently it doesn't. No, because all the organs are still alive and stuff, and the claws and the tail and all that stuff is good. But I give them credit for having enough balls to admit that to me, because I'm not so sure I would have divulged that in their position to what looked like an animal lover. But it made perfect sense to me. Yeah, so I was cool with it. Oh, Bay of Fundy. Actually, I went out. I was when I was living in Chicago. I saw the Bay of Fundy on the Weather Channel and drove out there. I drove all the way to Nova Scotia and back in a week, and I spent 2 days at the Bay of Fundy. Fascinating place. I know this guy. Yeah, it was really those strongest currents in the world. That's what got me to go there. They've got alarms and lights. You know all that stuff, Michelle. All the crazy stuff. And it's so damn loud you can't even hear. Strongest currents in the world, Bay of Fundy. It's also where Digby scallops come from. Yep, Digby scallops. Yeah. This guy seems like a really good father. See him with his daughter and son. It's like the old days. Yeah, Digby scallops. He rebuilt the engine on one of these. He was going to do it on the other. These are the old two-stroke. You can get them really cheap. Oh, did you really, Susan? Yeah, it was Bay of Fundy's fascinating. Yeah, I really enjoyed that trip. I did a lot of things like that. Another time, I was interested in flying. I'd been a pilot for quite a while. And Alaska Airlines flew a 737, specially equipped with some squat switches that automatically deployed these special spoilers and thrust reversers, because it was a super short runway. And it was always described as very dangerous, and the FAA was going to cancel it any day. It's like a 3,700-foot runway, I think. I'm not shitting you. Go on YouTube and watch uh, Alaska Airlines Dutch Harbor. Watch that video, and you hear this flight attendant describing the skill of these pilots, and it's just like that. So I thought, man, I got to go up to Dutch Harbor. I want to get a ride on that 737. So I did. And no shit, man, they get down below that mountains, and all you see out both sides of the plains is mountains, and this plane's making a circling approach. And when they land, of course, the thrust reversers come on right away, and they're on forever because they're trying to stop. Everybody claps. They since forced them to quit using those. Now they fly turboprops, but I'm glad I got to experience it. It was a once in a lifetime experience. It was crazy, taking a commercial jet and landing it on a runway this small. Watch that video. Watch that video. Alaska Airlines Dutch Harbor. It's so cool. It's only about 3 minutes long. That was the same plane I was on. I think it was a 737-200. Yeah, it was good. They've crashed a shit ton of planes since I did that props, which that runway's plenty long for that. I don't get it. Yeah, that living off the land's not for me. I couldn't do it. I like the idea of it, but the reality of it, in no way. This is a favorite day for Daisy. The only job I ever left on bad terms in my life was UPS. I absolutely hated working there. And they're super slave drivers. If you're a driver, they'll be on your ass all the time, and you'll wear out all your joints. How you doing?
Put a boulder in the green one.
Oh, did ya?
It'll be a test run.
Brand new or rebuilt?
I put a 94 in it.
Good for you.
Yeah, it took a lot, but I got it in there. It's running. I want to see what it's gonna do.
I'll keep an eye on you. What happened? I was working at UPS. I hated it. They were slave drivers. I had every job there: washer, unloader, loader, and I hated all those jobs so bad. I actually had to memorize 2,100 zip codes so I could be a sorter. Everybody, no matter what you do there, it's not good enough. I hated working there. So, and they were fucking over people left and right, and I thought, I can't wait to get out of this goddamn place. So, long story short, I ended up getting $5,000 willed to me, and I got it in December, and I just walked right out in the middle of a shift. No notice, no nothing. They were so pissed, but I felt they deserved it. Good luck at UPS. If you're gonna drive, I'm telling you, man, you'll wear your joints out. It wears the human body out. They're total slave drivers. Nah, I mean, I don't know how old you are, but just here's the thing. Like I said, with knowledge comes accountability. Just keep your eyes open. It's in this day and age, it's not a bad job. You guys are Teamsters, which isn't worth the shit now, but they will work the living dog shit out of you, and they are constantly spying on you, seeing if you're leaving the truck on or off, or signaling, or spending too much time getting a drink. So just be aware of this. And there are precautions you can take to protect your joints. Do it, because getting in and out of that truck all the time for 30 or 40 years will wear your body out. Yeah, Amazon does too. Yep. Oh my God, yeah. FedEx doesn't pay as much. The best jobs for UPS and FedEx, they're flying jobs. They're ALPA pilots, ALPA. The downside is, go on, hon. The downside is you got to fly at night all the time. I'm a night guy, but now that I know now, what I've experienced life, I wouldn't want to be an airline pilot. I wouldn't want to deal with passengers and flight attendants and all that bullshit. Now with COVID and everybody's crazy, I'd rather fly packages around. They never complain. Oh, you're either flying out of Memphis or Louisville if you're UPS, but you're flying midnights. Midnights, I mean, there's different schools of thought on that. They say you lose some years of your life if you work in midnight shifts. I don't know how true that is, but I remember you seem to be tired all the time. There's nothing worse than a day off. When you work midnights, you don't know whether to try and sleep or stay up. I always kind of felt like shit on midnight shift, even though I liked it better than days. Real conundrum. Oh, they're like that, Nita. Yeah, they're total slave drivers. Oh, it is, Susan. Okay. Yeah, I like fog too. Yeah, I've been all over Maine. I mean, I'm not knocking Maine, but it's just a kind of a boring state to me. You can go to Arcadia, and all kind of looks the same. I mean, interior Maine just looks the same everywhere. I just, I just don't like that East Coast that much. Oh, okay, Renee. What did you do for a job? All right, chemist. Have a good day today. Hey, chemist. Can I ask you a quick question? I didn't. I'm a little confused on this guy that you sent me the link to. I watched some of it, and everybody said that one of my stalkers was one of his stalkers, and I couldn't verify that anywhere. Where can I look at where that connection is made? And are you sure that's true? One of his stalkers? One of his stalkers is definitely one of mine. And how did that relationship start? Oh, you're a welder. Okay. Looks like this old engine rebuild isn't exactly working out exactly like he thought it would. Yeah, Jenny, I was wondering where you been all this time. What happened to you? Where'd you go? Oh, oil pipelines. Okay. Oh, really? Okay. And how long did that go on? And how was my guess is the introduction occurred because of her interest in the same kind of videos, Chris Cornell and that guy from High Pitched Voice that killed himself. Is that how it started? And how did they become acquainted? Do you know? And what extent of stalking did he receive? How bad did it get? And what did he do about it? Yeah, Rita, we didn't think it's the real you because you don't have your wrench. If it is a real you, send me a email. Seriously, on and off for a couple years because it looked like that channel went dormant for about 7 years, and you're sure it's the same person. That's what I think, Blue. No kidding, huh? That's interesting. I find it a little odd that a guy that would have had these kind of problems wouldn't have contacted me. I mean, are you sure this guy's playing with a full deck? And did he ever talk to you about what he thought her motive was? Oh, okay. I mean, did this guy was he aware where she worked and everything? And what did he do about it? Did he file any police reports? Did he contact YouTube? Was anything done? I don't think that's Rita, Blue. Hey, Ray. Yeah, I think he's probably. Who knows what's happening with it? It's two-stroke, man. That's why they don't make him anymore in that configuration. They're a pain in the ass. I had two-stroke motorcycles, a Kawasaki 750 and a 500, and they were a pain in the ass. When they ran, they were great, but when they didn't, like, you were dinking around with them all the time. Yeah, I don't think that's her. Hey, Penny. Oh, gotcha, chemist. Okay. Well, I think it's game over with her now. I think that shut her down. Yeah, that's what I thought, Shannon. Oh, okay, Rita. See, now this one has got an avatar. The other one didn't. Yeah, so there's a cloned Rita for sure. Yeah, this is the real Rita. The other one that looks the same without the blue wrench is not. So blow that other one out of the water. Yeah, this one is the real Rita, but the other one was not. There was no blue wrench.
Yeah, well, I'm not taking my phone.
Hey, Mary. Well, I guess it looks to be running pretty good now. Yeah, Rita, if you see that clone, report it for harassment. Hey, speaking of harassment, if you see any of these stalker channels making up stuff about me, report them for harassment. No kidding, chemist. Now, somebody sent me an email last night and said that they had watched the videos of this kook's ex-boyfriend. Do you think that's who they were talking about? Or are there other videos out there on another guy she did this to that I don't know about? Do you know? Hey, Mary, why don't you see if they can get that Johnson & Johnson virus and I can come up and get that damn thing without a lot of bullshit. Yeah, this is the fake. This is the real Rita. Yeah, see, that was on earlier without a wrench. Oh, she doesn't. Gotcha. Hey, Brian. Well, as you can see, she took down all her videos, so I think it's mission accomplished. Okay, Squirrely. Yeah, so good. Oh, good. That's mission accomplished. Then. So she was doing this to other people. Did this kook actually show up to like where this guy lived and stuff, like she did with me? Oh, gotcha. Yeah, well, thank you for giving that information. I just think it's strange. You think he would be all over contacting me. It's hard to get a channel taken down. That's one of the big downsides of YouTube. It's difficult. You've got to prove that it's you and this is affecting your life. I want you guys to do this today. I want you to research Section 203. There's going to be some big changes on that pretty soon. And that's what allows these stalkers to proliferate now, but that's about ready to change because the federal government's getting involved. Section 203. The minute one of these civil lawsuits stick on these stalkers, this stuff's not happening anymore, and they're going to need to hire 10,000 people to police it. Gotcha. What you have to remember in a lawsuit is you have to be able to prove how it damaged you. You just can't sue people because they've pissed you off and you don't like what they did. You have to demonstrate how this damaged your life in a financial and a monetary way. But if you get a restraining order against them, now you can go after them criminally. Where I think the money is going to be in the future is where these social media platforms have been complicit in responding to complaints about being stalked. It means they're a moderator. Why would he have been undisclosed? Why wouldn't you just come out of that right out of the chute and tell everybody? That doesn't make any sense. Oh, do you, Rita? Okay, good. Gotcha. And another thing that doesn't quite make any sense is that some guy would be on the run because of YouTube stalkers. Are you kidding me? I dare any of these motherfuckers to come up here to West Branch and pull this bullshit. They show one sign of aggression to me in my house, and I'm telling you, it's not going to be good for you. I need to set an example, and if it happens, it's not. I promise you, it's not going to be good. So I can't believe a grown male would just be running around hiding his number and where he lived because of these fucking pussies. That doesn't make any sense. It almost seems like sub drama in a way. Yeah, definitely do not have your real name on your YouTube avatar. Don't do it. Yeah, it's super weird. It just sounds a little off. I mean, I believe me, I want to like this guy, but this isn't the way you handle stalkers. Isn't being on the run and not letting people know where you live. A little odd. Yeah, it just doesn't add up. No. I can't even tell what your profile picture is, Christy. What is it? Well, is it running good?
I think so.
Good. Oh, no kidding. And how long ago was that? See, she always claimed she hadn't had any boyfriends since she got divorced. Makes me want to talk to the ex-husband. That whole story could be false. Oh yeah, I know who it is. Yeah, get rid of your don't have your last name on. Don't let people con out of you where you live. Every one of these stalking psychos signs up to Ben Verified and figures out where you live, and then it's just constant harassment. No, your wrench will come along with your new change. Now the wrenches are attached to your wrench will be automatically there. I guarantee you, here we are talking. There's 83 people that are watching. There's a fair share of stalkers out there right now trying to figure out where you live and where you work and who your relatives are. No, the wrench will come with the name change. You don't need to re-wrench somebody on a name change. That would probably be a good angle a stalker would work, a fake Rita. It's like, hey, what happened to my wrench? Well, if you change your name, your wrench comes along with it. So you can't wrench him anyway, so don't worry about it. But nothing's going to happen. Oh, gotcha then. So what is the status with this guy? I mean, why doesn't he take the bull by the horns? Instead of just uploading videos, why doesn't he get proactive? I mean, I'm not saying this is true, but there just seems to be a little bit of a remnant of him embracing the victim role. It is. I'm not, to be honest with you, I'm not sure if the wrench is attached to the MAC address, the IP address, or just the screen name. I don't know for sure. Chris Cornell's that singer that hung himself in Detroit. But she was uploading videos like that, and on that other guy, Chester, whatever his name was, that killed himself. And this guy did the same thing. So there's a chance that that's how they could have got acquainted, through mutual interests. Oh, good. Yeah, lawyer, it doesn't matter. I mean, just being a lawyer doesn't mean shit. You still have to have a case, and it doesn't mean anything. Like I told that lady on the phone, I'm not at all afraid of a lawsuit. You go ahead and get a lawyer. Doesn't mean jack shit to me. It's not going to matter. I got all the proof I need about being stalked, harassed, and slandered and libeled. So fuck a lawyer. Oh, it is? Oh, okay. Yeah, but Chemist, here's the thing. What has he done once he identified her? Has he filed a police report? I mean, what action has he taken to keep this from happening? Is there any proof of this? I mean, it's great to go on there and do a tell-all video, but this is a grown adult male running around uh, in secret because he's afraid of just a kooky female stalker and doesn't want anybody to know where he lives. It doesn't make sense. Oh, I've done that, Blue. Oh, she isn't going to do anything. Nobody pays attention to her. Doesn't have many subscribers. It's only people that have been kicked off other channels. She's no threat at all. She's the same unsuccessful behemoth she's been her whole life. She needs to worry about how to pay her bills and her creditors, not worry about my problems. All these stalkers have one thing in common. Most of them. They don't have jobs. Their credit shot. They don't have any friends. They can't create any content. They live with their parents or live in a dump. And they have kids that ride the short, square school bus because genetics are powerful. Oh, Monticello, good. Christy, what are you getting at here? Hey, Linda. How's Stan doing? I mean, welfare has a reason for it. I don't have a problem with people in general on welfare. I mean, there are legitimate reasons and there are non legitimate reasons. When you go on welfare and you could work, I got a problem with that. When you can't, I'm all for the program. Big difference. Yeah, you can forget about living off YouTube income. I mean, that's just a pipe dream. That guy doesn't have that many subscribers and he doesn't get that many views. No way. He'll be lucky if he could go out to dinner once a week. I mean, people really got this crazy idea of the money on YouTube. But back to what he's done to be proactive with regard to this lady. What did he do? What positive steps did he take to have this kook keep doing this? Oh, okay, Linda. Oh, yeah, they'll do it, Emily, yeah. Hey, Seagate. I did contact him. I said it. I thought it was odd that he didn't want to contact me. I mean, if someone was doing that to me and I found out it was happened to someone else, I'd be all over it. Something's not quite adding up 100% here. I did. I contacted him yesterday. You actually have what, Christy? What are you talking about, Ezio? Well, that's good that you feel that way, chemist. I just don't really understand a growing adult man cowering and going underground because of a 135-pound female 800 miles away. Doesn't make a bit of sense. Oh, thank you, Seagate. Yeah, this Ezio seems like he's got a screw loose. Ezio, get lost. Hey, Indigo, how you doing? Good job. Great job. Well, you're talking like Sharon now, Blue. He gone. You been watching Sharon? Hey, Shannon.
Hey, babe, let's load 'em up.
Blue, you're using Ebonics now. You talking like Sharon. Hey, Indigo, how you doing? Oh, okay. All right. Yeah, that's kind of what I thought. Yeah, yeah.
Hey, babe, we're gonna load 'em up. Unless you guys wanted to take the purple one around real quick, because I gotta get a T. I don't think it's cooling right. The water ain't circulating right because I ain't got a T in that to push the old water out. So I'll go.
It's a make-believe lake that Garrison Keller used to use on uh, radio broadcasts. Oh, okay, Blue. Hey, Jeff, how you doing? Yeah, come on. I'll be on later tonight. Yeah, I don't know why you'd have a backup channel. I don't know why you just put it all out there and let the chips fall where they may. Something's not 100% adding up with this. Nigeria, huh? Yeah, that's what I think too, Shannon. I think so too. Something's not quite right here. No, I never did. I don't know. I never did. Nope. Yeah, fishy. You're right, Shannon. Something's not quite adding up.
Yeah, I don't want to burn it up over a $2 T. You know what I mean, Ed?
Oh, really, Michelle? That's possible. Yeah, well, all the more reason you wouldn't have to go on YouTube. I mean, at his age, he's going on YouTube trying to find this. Nah, this story's really starting to stink. No, it's not really that hot. No, she didn't go swimming. She'd be chilly with the windows open if I let her go swimming now, so I didn't take her. Yeah, I think you're right. I'd have to agree with that, Shannon. Yeah, you got a good. You give you A plus for street smarts. Yeah, I agree with you. Super fishy. Hey, David. Yeah, it's just something's a little off. That's all right, Seagate. You can't start at the beginning of everything. Hey, Susan. That a girl. Good for you. Yeah, big, huge missing pieces to the story. Absolutely. Yep. I will, Seagate. Yeah, well, it doesn't matter what channels have been taken down. There's one that hasn't been taken down, and he could have talked about all this on there and just been up front. Things aren't adding up. And taken down for what reason? I mean, if you don't, you can do things that people don't like, but if you do things that's malicious, untrue, slanderous, libelous, harassment, stalking, your channel will get taken down. So that's another added on factor that doesn't make sense. If you're not doing anything wrong, your channels don't get taken down. So why were his taken down? For what reason? Right on, Shannon. Yeah, it just doesn't make any sense. I'm not saying this didn't happen to him, but this whole story is shaky. So what? Everybody's got trolls, but what's that got to do with taking a channel down? And chemist, what is your vested interest in this whole scenario? Why are you so adamant about being involved in this? What's your motive? Right, Seagate. Have a good day. Yeah, something's not quite adding up here. No, it doesn't matter that Becca knows him or not. This just isn't adding up.
Should have a strap on it.
You know, you came across as just being a person trying to help chemists, but this is super fishy. You need to hone your game a little bit better. Oh, it is Michelle. I mean, I don't know what her knowing him well has to do with anything. What does that have to do with it? Whether you know him well, she knows him well, somebody else knows him well. Something not adding up here. No, I don't think he wants to answer the questions. He had a chance to get a hold of me yesterday and he didn't. And what is your interest in this motive of being involved in this whole scenario? Why? And why would Becca care? You said he has a girlfriend, so scratch that.
Bring them other straps.
I'm not talking about Chris Cornell's death. I'm talking about what supposedly has happened to him and why it never seems to end. Yeah, it's no problem. I got my eye open, Stephanie. I did email him yesterday, I told you. Why don't you email me so I can talk to you about it on the phone? Hey, Naf, how you doing? I don't think she's around, Simca. I think she took off. Chemist, why don't you email me your phone number so we can talk about this? Seeing that you want to help so much. No, but forget about the death. That's water over the dam. I'm talking about now. He's interested in those deaths. We're not talking about that. We're talking about him being stalked and what he's done about it. And why a grown man would be running from a 130-pound female. Right. See you, Rita. Good for you, Neff. No, but what I'm saying, Chemist, why don't you email me your phone number and we can talk about this? I mean, this should make sense to you. Good, Neff. No, but this is the last time I'm going to ask you. Why don't you email me and we'll talk about it until I hear from him? I mean, if you're here to help in resolving this and relieving some pressure from his life, that shouldn't be any problem. Now, you said you understand, but why don't you send your phone number to me and we'll talk about this? We'll get down to the bottom line right away. You understand that? You understand that or not? Yeah, I'm talking to you. Yeah, why don't you email me your phone number and we'll talk about this? Because you're about ready to get blocked. Yeah, I'm talking to you. I've brought your name up 4 times in a row in the last 5 minutes. It's they just listed it twice, and I've given it to you once. It's Tom Tom Reed Reed 1956 at gmail.com. I mean, you should be all over this if you're here to help. Yep. It's another one of these people that are here to help. No, I'm not talking about him. I'm talking about you. Oh, thanks, Christy. Yeah, do it then. Do it. Yeah, I'm not too worried about it, Christy. Nobody's doing anything except running their big mouths. Yeah, chemist, I think it's time for you to go. It's time for you to go bye-bye. Chemist, you see why I'm a PI and you're not? Does that make any sense to you? Thank you, Joes. Does that make any sense to you why I'm a PI and you're not? Yeah, isn't that crazy? Yeah, you ever see a cat play with a mouse until he kills it? This lady was just so obvious, it was ridiculous. The fact of the matter is, these people are too stupid to figure anything else out. If they could, they would. Like I tell people when they're arguing and thinking about dating other people, I said, I want you two to look each other in the eyes right now and admit to yourselves that if you could have done better, you would have. You've reached your Peter principle in relationships. That's why you're together. Get over it. Oh, yeah, they're going to go too, Penny. Oh, for sure. Yeah, something's not adding up with this guy either. Yes. No, not at all. Yeah, everybody thinks that until they go broke trying to start an agency. Like I said, nothing is like it seems. Talk is cheap. Those who do, those who can do. Those who can't, talk about it. Yeah, being nosy and being a PI is a world apart. People watch these TV shows. Less than a 0.5% of people make a full-time living as a private detective. I've done it for 40 years. I'm not saying that you couldn't do it, but when the old rubber meets the road, there's a reason why they're not doing it and I am. I mean, you may turn out to be a good PI. Yeah, it's nice out here. Yep, that's no filter either. It's really like that. So, if moderators, keep your eye out from these people like this chemist lady, just another scammer that's probably been successful with this third grade fake profile horseshit. Keep an eye on them, block them if you see them. Yeah, they're just super stupid. Just troublemaking idiots with low IQs. Like I said, I'm glad I don't have any Harvard or Yale stalkers because they probably could cause me some trouble. But these borderline Down syndrome rejects that are hassling me now, it's like having a housefly not like me. Yeah, she did. Yep. Yeah, it's visible for him. Yeah. He knows what it is. I don't think I want to talk to him anymore anyway. So it doesn't really matter. That's it now. Well, I think I'm going to sign off here, you guys. Hope you guys have a good day today. It's Lake George, West Branch, Michigan. Have a good day, Stephanie. See you, Blue. Good luck, Neff. Hang in there. See you, Indigo. Bye, Penny. Hit that R-Bag 10 for me. See you, Shannon. Bye, Linda. See you, Susan. Yeah, thanks, Susan. Okay, Blue. Yep. Oh, thank you, Nancy. See you, Joe. Bye, Alethea. See Christy.